7 minutes after 12 p.m. in the studios of Pan African Television. Welcome to Pan African News at 12. My name is Maxwell William Chiguya. Beaming signals from our studios on 48 Swanika Street here in Accra, Ghana, West Africa. Coming up in our headline this afternoon, Tourism Ministry to collaborate with local government in pursuance of safety protocol measures put in place to curb the spread of COVID-19. Also, Cowbell rescues residents of Domiabra, provides them with potable water. Now, hundreds of Nigerian health workers test positive. Later in business, Ghana and Amandi Holdings signed $560 million railway contract. We have details of all these our stories, including other stories as well. We will be having some story from our international partners, People's Dispatch, during our broadcast. Just stay with us. We are back with the details. Many thanks for staying tuned. If you just tuned in, this is Pan African News at 12. You're also streaming live on Facebook at Pan African Television. Now, in our first story on the local front, the Ministry for Tourism is said to be in collaboration with the local government in pursuance of the safety protocols put in place in ensuring the safety measures, of course, put in place to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. This will be done when event or other church religious bodies have been, given permissions to go ahead with the church services and, of course, religious services. Now, when it comes to event, holding of event, they are also put in place measures to curb and has to do with the number of persons that will participate in those private events to be held in the country.
And to invest in this community, giving back to the people who support us. 20 years ago, our brand was born in this country, and Ghanaians have patronized our products all these 20 years and built us into what we are. So we are very happy to invest in our community and to redeem our pledge, which we made a year ago, to provide a borehole in this community. Also, we know that by providing this facility for you, it will alleviate the stress for women and children in this community to look for water, which also takes some of the time from the children from studying or going to school early. And we hope that that will also improve the conditions of the people in the community and the attention and time children spend for their education. Especially
it's incredible! Bang on target!
Hello?
Oh, Sisiana sound.
Okay, why? My wife comes and send a message. Your face is not almost free. Hello? I didn't know. What's happened?
It's a child who's will be a quiet say what? I dare say,
besides, one affair, I'm so young. My wife is not testing messages here. And our office also, I'm trying to tell you, man. She says, I
mean, so we a guy man, and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it name? Family Dwelling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Naso, ye be, Frey 0240 333 111 and NASA 0244 144 822.
Miampa and you want swimming pool on me fee. Me want to will be here. Family dwelling now. Family dwelling.
What fashion yala shit?
Me out with
Na jauti kai mu da do presi wa se wan timi ansi.
Mate insist me sire why. Na me yikwa na church o. O jari malaria din ya chisa.
Eja kan akoma 2 years. So onom dan proke heba mister. Osi simbadu say from oyire so doctor ka chene say o malaria mo ani bi oni pedue mu a. So onom dank antima X yare malaria ebe kokra obi wo hono ma ne yem ye ne yanso a. So onom dank gastro care heba mister. Oho beton dank phyto care heba mister. Koko ebe ye hu adwuma ma wapon waposo won tutu dank extra keba mister obenya hoden ne watimi anante make food dank no nyina e de amamo
na ebenya drain nya bi we
pharmacy shop ana herbal shop also pe dank nu a ye be ma obi
ba chomo number ye sen
0266593330
enroi oba pemfo oba ma akora nufo anya akora woni mfie du mienu ntime no
FDA ahwehwe sa edwedie nkrato mu agya atom se eye.
Varieties of herbal products for your dreadlocks and natural hair.
I am Cash Crown Salon. Now, keeping natural hair with dreadlocks, no idea, unyame, a boma, meno. Now, you who sushi and I say maintenance and a lack of knowledge, no, and ama the air metaika, a brofo, and a obruni, alo, a blowfui to pollute our natural hair with the harsh, dangerous chemicals. In Kasem, we are young Tina. You started training, teaching, preaching the gospel according to maintaining natural hair with these lovely natural organic products. Now, she say no ye be school now, Mount Zebra. Na be share unsano ejuma for you to be one of the best locticians in the whole wide world. It's an ejuma way, it's an ejuma osia odi kobe bia. It's an say to be a loctician, no, is
We do apologize for that wrong insert for the previous stories read, but still on the local front, the Ministry for Tourism is said to be in collaboration with local government in pursuance of the safety protocols put in place to prevent the curb of the spread of COVID-19 in Ghana.
With respect to policing of the restrictions, Ghana Tourism Authority has regional offices all across the country, and they have inspectors, and they are going to work together with the district assemblies to ensure compliance with the guidelines. And for people who are going to organize events, they will be required to notify the Ghana Tourism Authority prior to the event, so that the authority can make arrangements to monitor the program. And they will also be required to provide the authority with information of the patrons who participated in the event. So the Ghana Tourism Authority will keep that database of all the people who attend these programs, so that in the events an issue comes up, the contact tracing can take place. Regarding the access to the NBSSI facility, I believe that I have explained that already. And also, somebody also asked about monitoring compliance, and I have answered that. Who qualifies for the stimulus package? The NBSSI has come out with all the guidelines for accessing the facility. So, as I indicated, the Ghana Tourism Authority is supporting our industry players to comply with the guidelines, go through the processes, and access the facility. In respect of time limits for events, we did not specify a time limit for events, but we indicated that event organizers should undertake the programs under a time constraint, which means that we should not allow the program to travel for too long. I know a question will be asked that church services are supposed to last for 1 hour. Church services are supposed to last for 1 hour because they are undertaking social distancing, and all their members may not be able to attend the service. If it's done for 1 hour and the first batch of members leave, another batch of members can all come for a service, so that within a space of 3 or 4 hours, they can attend to all the members of their congregation. But for a corporate event, it's a one-off event. So even if it takes place over a 2-hour period and it's done, that's it, it's done, and everybody goes away. And we get the records of all people who participated, and the database is kept by the Ghana Tourism Authority. In respect of nightclubs and drinking bars, we appreciate the fact that that's also a business that people derive their revenues from and their livelihoods from. But we are confronted by a pandemic which is impacting our health as well as the economy. And His Excellency the President and the task force team take all these issues into consideration in coming out with activities that should be restricted and activities that can take place. For now, the indication is we should hold off on the operations of nightclubs and drinking bars, because we all recognize the constraints, the mode of operation of nightclubs and drinking bars. You may say that they can restrict the participation to 100 persons or 50 persons as is being done for others. But the activity that takes place in a nightclub, you sit there, you are drinking and you are talking, and as you are talking, the droplets are coming out, and you are sitting there for hours. And we also know that drinking a lot of alcohol also impacts your immune system. And this is a time that we are trying to build our immune system to fight the pandemic. So several considerations have gone into the decision that for now we hold off on operating the nightclubs and drinking bars. You can have a bottle of beer in your home every now and then, so you can enjoy some of that. Thank you.
Away from that, Puma Ghana Limited, a leading provider of high-quality food products, has rescued inhabitants of Domiabra by providing them with mechanized borehole after years of over-reliance on contaminated water. During the commissioning of the borehole, Public Relations Officer of Puma Ghana Limited, Gideon Kodo, explained that the project aimed at making clean water accessible to communities that made use of polluted water bodies.
Invest in this community, giving back to the people who support us. 20 years ago, our brand was born in this country, and Ghanaians have patronized our products all these 20 years and built us into what we are. So we are very happy to invest in our community and to redeem our pledge, which we made a year ago, to provide a borehole in this community. Also, we know that by providing this facility for you, it will alleviate the stress for women and children in this community to look for water, which also takes some of the time from the children from studying or going to school early. And we hope that that will also improve the conditions of the people in the community and the attention and time children spend for their education. Especially in this era of COVID where water is required for hand washing and hygiene, it couldn't be any better but to have this facility for you. The CEO of Puma Ghana Limited will do it for us.
The chief of the area, Nana Enuasa Shrakunipa IV, commended Puma Ghana Limited for the kind gesture and further revealed that the facility, widely seen as a blessing in disguise, will go along in easing their burden.
It's answer now your blues you who are. If you are better communities, better 5. And now you hear soon. And soon, but the other question soon, no power. Into a bus school for Quariano cry. Tap Bribbon meet. It sounds I'm a power, so I said the baby being so Garaniade. I just saw one antiquity. And in fact, I am obey my cable for obey my idea. Am I need your papa? Am I need your pa? If you say, or say, and sue young inti cable for a young one. You should be your friend is sitting in Sutrain and I near Cosa. And I feel, oh, but a coin whose son, who fear no son of the Pono. Those ones are writing, should be higher put top. In Suno. And no one idea be there. Say, and that boho, a may in your farm, dear Cassie. It sounds especially on Quade school. Who say, Omo ya fa hu die. It sounds say, Omo sorry anopa, Omo coach would you feel for bucket ya. No be born with fee, open you musuho. Any your friend is saying, Takosonia Dina, Ombeba, I'll be boon, I just a bang, soon a bang.
Oh, you're near Japan. Some of my ins. A first Indian I bread. So soon I have a name. It's my brain when you're near Japan.
Now let's head straight to Nigeria, where Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says at least 812 health workers have tested positive for coronavirus. Now, Chief Executive Chikwe Ikwezu said that 29 out of the infected health workers are staff at the agency.
Nigeria has confirmed 10,819 cases and 314 deaths so far. In April, the Nigerian Medical Association attributed the infection of frontline health workers to lack of adequate protection. Chikwe Ikwezu also revealed the center had distributed 40,000 pieces of personal protective equipment, PPE, to the workers. Unions of health workers in some states have threatened strike actions over lack of adequate protective gear. Meanwhile, the government has reversed its earlier directive that prohibited private hospitals from treating COVID-19 patients. It has asked private hospitals to register with their respective state government and ensure proper training of staff.
Now, Congo's prosecutor Andre Nkagala Oko has ordered the opening of a judicial probe into the death of Chloe Bofundinso. Now, the young woman died in Brazzaville's Albert Leyono Municipal Clinic over alleged COVID-19 diagnostic, which has been attributed to 2 doctors in that particular hospital.
According to Andre Oko, the 2 doctors must answer for the act of which they are accused. Chloe Bafundinso, 29, suffering respiratory discomfort that complicated her 8-month pregnancy, requiring a cesarean section, would have been treated as a person infected with COVID-19. Hospitalized for 3 days at a hospital in Makalele, the young woman was transferred to the mother and child unit of the Gums Hospital, then referred to the municipal clinic, Albert Leyono, on the same day as required for COVID-19 patients. Close parents say their daughter, who was neglected, died last week. After several negotiations between health authorities, police and family, the remains of Chloe, who was due to give birth to her second child, was disposed at the municipal morgue in Brazzaville.
Now, in Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe has tightened restrictions in a bid to curtail the spread of coronavirus following a spike in confirmed cases in the country. Now, security forces cleared Harare city center as they turned back commuters and motorists.
In a statement, the police said only essential service workers are allowed outdoors, while the rest of the population must stay home. COVID-19 cases spiked from 34 to 203 from early May, with most of the cases being citizens returning from abroad. Last month, restrictions were eased following a lockdown imposed on March 30th, allowing large corporations to open, but under strict safety conditions for staff and customers. Government spokesman Nick Mangwana said there was nothing unusual about the tightened restriction. The highly contagious disease, which first broke out in China, has accounted for numerous fatalities across the globe. The pandemic has several symptoms such as fever, cough, diarrhea, shortness of breath, aches, and pain.
Away from that, the wife of former Lesotho Prime Minister Thomas Thabane, who was charged with the murder of her husband's first wife, is back in prison after the court cancelled her judicial review. Now, Messiah Thabane, 43, was charged in February for her involvement in the 2017 murder of Lipolelo Thabane, the first wife of former head of government Thomas Thabane.
A few weeks after the crime, she had married Thomas Thabane. Last week, the Lesotho Court of Appeal overturned the controversial judicial review measures she had enjoyed. Judge Thabane told her she will remain in prison and will be reconvened on June 16, 2020. Messiah Thabane had already spent a few hours in prison earlier this year before being released on parole in exchange for the payment of a bill of 1,000 maloti, about €50, after the cancellation of the judicial supervision measures from which she had benefited. The police could not immediately proceed with her arrest because she was in the neighboring South Africa with her husband who had come there for treatment. She was arrested on her return to her country. The murder of Lipolelo Thabane, a case with many twists and turns, has plunged Lesotho into a serious political crisis. It's led to the resignation of 80-year-old Thomas Thabane on May 19, 2020, who was dropped by the coalition that had supported his government for 3 years.
Now, at least 127 journalists have died of COVID-19 between March 1 and May 31st this year around the world, according to a county by the Press Emblem campaign, PEC. Now, in a press release issued, the Geneva-based non-governmental organization said among the 127 deaths, around 2/3 were on duty.
PEC Secretary General Blaise Lempin said media workers have an important role to play in the fight against the new virus. They have to inform about the spread of the disease. A number of them died for lack of adequate protective measures when doing their job. The PEC said its count was based on the use of numerous sources: National Association of Journalists, local media, and PEC correspondents around the world. According to the count, Peru is in the lead with 15 deaths. Brazil and Mexico come second and third, with both 13 victims. There are 12 fatalities in the United States, 5 in both Russia and Britain. By region, Latin America was most affected continent, with at least 62 journalists killed by the virus, compared with Europe's 23 victims, Asia 17, North America 13, and Africa's 12. Founded in June 2004, by an international group of journalists, the PEC is a non-governmental organization with special consultative United Nations status, whose aim is to strengthen the legal protection and safety of journalists in conflict zone, areas of civil unrest, or on dangerous mission.
Now, this is the 11th Ebola virus disease outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it has already claimed 4 lives and infected 4 other people in the community, said a statement from the 55-member Pan-African bloc. Now, the African Union says its specialized health institution, the African CDC, is closely monitoring the situation while preparing to support responses to the new outbreak of Ebola virus disease, EVD, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, this is the 11th outbreak in the Republic of Congo, and it has already claimed 4 lives and infected other people as well.
Following notification by the Equator Provincial Health Authorities of community death on May 23rd and 30th, the DRC government on Sunday declared a new outbreak of EVD in Mbandaka in the northwest Equator province. The outbreak began at a time when experts were close to declaring an end to the 10th EVD outbreak in North Kivu province, and when countries are fighting hard to control the COVID-19 pandemic, noted the statement. As the DRC Ministry of Health is currently establishing a coordination and response mechanism to effectively continue the outbreak, the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC, is closely monitoring the situation while preparing to support response to the outbreak at the national and regional levels. The African CDC has briefed the leadership of the AU Commission about the outbreak, and the Commission has pledged its solidarity and support to the DRC in responding to the outbreak. According to the statement, it also said that the African CDC would deploy its resources and team of experts supporting response to the 10th EVD outbreak in North Kivu to support response to the new outbreak in Equator province. Cognizant of the risks that multiple disease outbreaks have on the DRC, the Africa CDC is working with DRC government, the World Health Organization (WHO), and other partners to strengthen response to both the 10th and 11th EVD outbreak and the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Africa CDC is a specialized technical institution of AU which supports member states in their efforts to strengthen health system and improve surveillance, emergency response, prevention, and control of disease.
If you just tune in, this is the 12 Media News broadcast on our channel Pan-African Television, beaming signals from our studios here on 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. Also streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. We are going for a short breather. We return with the happenings in the world of business. Do stay with us.
Oh, it's incredible! Bang on target!
Na jawti kai mu da do bi kura si wa se wan timi ansi
mate mi sis mi sire why na me yikwa na tete wo o dari malaria din ya chinsa
eja kan akoma tu yem so onom dan proke heba mister osi simbadu se from oyire so doctor ka chene se o malaria mo ani bi oni pedue mu a so onom dank antima x yare malaria ebe kokura obi wo honom a ne yem ye ne yanso a so onom dank gastro care heba mister oho beto dank phyto care heba mister koko ebe ye hu adwuma ma wapon waposo tutu dank extra care ba mister obenya hoden ne watimi anante make afo dank no nyina e de amamo
na ebenya dwe nya bi we
pharmacy shop ana herba shop also pe dank nu a ye be ma obi
acha mo number ye sen
0266593330
enroi oba pemfo oba ma akora nufo anya akora woni mfie du mienu ntimi no
FDA ahwehwe sa edwadie nkratoe mu agya tum se eye
has varieties of herbal products for your dreadlocks and natural hair.
I am Cash Crown Salon. na keeping natural hair with dreadlocks no idea unyame eboma meno na yehunu so hwe ana say maintenance and lack of knowledge no and ama the air mekai kan abrofo ana obruni allo ablofoi to pollute our natural hair with the harsh dangerous chemicals. In kasem we are yehunu nintina ya starting training, teaching, preaching the gospel according to maintaining natural hair with this lovely natural organic products. Now, se say no ye be school na ma zebra na be sua onsano ejuma for you to be one of the best locticians in the whole wide world. It's an ejuma way, it's an ejuma osua odi kobe bia esan say to be a loctician no is a job the world need you today. Na natural hair ya de bia se say no e papa na amanfo agi atu no stigmatization, no bad names for dreadlocks and natural hair. Entino me boko ko say brana besua sa nimdie we efa dreadlocks, sisters locks, Nubian locks, Afro locks, braided locks, organic locks, micro locks, Caucasian locks, twist locks, real lock, hand twist, comb twist, flat twist. Sa no we nyina no brana besua usua wie na yehwe ohomodem bo a etimi ejo esan say Vikesh Training Academy no your branches bebre wo Ghana ha etimi employ and I say etimi esu employ outside the country.
If you want to learn all the techniques in natural hair and dreadlocks, please pick up a form in any of our branches. Also, for bulk purchases of our natural herbal products, please call 0542 126072 or 0277 454287.
Vikesh
is the king of dreadlocks.
You don't know Stonewall representing me as a dreadlock to the world. BOT. Your natural hair is the crown of your glory. Vikesh! Why you pay?
Hello?
Oh, Sisiana sound.
Okay, why? My wife comes and send a message you. Your face is going to move. Hello? What's happened?
It's your child who will be a quiet say what? I dare say,
besides, friend, I'm so here. My wife is not testing messages here. And our office also. I'm trying to tell you, she says, I
mean, so we a guy man, and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it then? Family Drilling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Naso, ye be Frey 0240 333 111 and NASA 0244 144 822.
Miampa and no swimming pool me fee. Me want to no be family drilling now. Family drilling. Me out that shit.
Oh, it's incredible! Bang on target!
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCA, organizes the following executive and advanced certificate programs like Executive Certificate in Project Management, Executive Certificate in Human Resource Management, Executive Certificate in Real Estate and Property.
Na jauti kai mu da do bi kurasi wa se wan timi ensi
mate insist bi sire why na me yikwa na teche wo o jari malaria din ya chisa
eja kan akoma 2 years so onum dan proke heba mister osi simbadu say from oyire nso doctor ka che ni say o malaria mo ani bi oni pedue mu a so onom dank antima x yare malaria ebe kokra obi wo hono ma ne yemye ne yanso a so onom dank gastro care herbal mixture ho beton dank phyto care herbal mixture koko ebe ye hu adwuma ma wapono waposo wo tutu dank extra care herbal mixture obenya hoden ne watimi anante mekafo dank no nyina e de amamo
na ebenya dwe nya bi we
pharmacy shop ana herbal shop also per dank no a ye be ma obi
pacho mo number ye sen
0266593330
endroi oba pemfo oba ma akora nufo anya akora woni mfie du mienu ntime no
FDA ahwehwɛ saa edwadie nkratoe mu agya atom sɛ ɛyɛ.
So now let's head straight to our international partners, People's Dispatch stories. Now, protests broke out in the occupied Palestinian territories as well as in some cities in Israel on June 2, Tuesday, against the killing of Iyad Hayag. Now, 32-year-old Hayag, a disabled man, was shot dead by Israel border police on May 30th.
Protests were reported from occupied East Jerusalem, Haifa, Bethlehem and Tel Aviv. Halak, who was diagnosed with autism, was killed while trying to run away from an Israeli police checkpoint in occupied East Jerusalem. He was shot more than 10 times by Israeli police officers and was left to die, bleeding on the ground. Chants of Palestinians' lives matter reverberated in the protest, inspired by the protest in the United States against the murder of George Floyd in the city of Minnesota. Drawing comparisons between the two deaths, protesters were seen holding banners and placards reading, "Palestinian lives matter, Black lives matter, Justice for Iyad and Justice for George." People displayed posters and sketches of Halak and condemned the Israeli police for his death. In Haifa, protesters carried photos and banners with names of other Palestinians who have been killed by the Israeli police and military in the past. In 2019 alone, at least 132 Palestinians died at the hands of Israeli security forces, according to the United Nations. The previous year's figure stood at 296. Around 20 Palestinians have already been shot and killed by Israeli forces so far in 2020. In a related development, one of the Israeli police officers involved in the killing of Halak was relieved from police custody on Tuesday and was placed under house arrest. The commanding officer of the policeman in question was also released from custody. The release of the two police officers was heavily denounced by Palestinian activists and human rights groups who have demanded an investigation into the killing, terminate a cold-blooded murder. Earlier, in the face of massive criticism, Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz apologized for the killing on May 31st. During the Israeli cabinet's weekly meeting, Gantz said, "We're really sorry about the incident in which Iyad Halak was shot to death, and we share in the family's grief. However, without any proper redressal for the crime or justice for the victim, the apology seems like another way to brush the killing under the carpet, making it seem like a one-off incident."
So in Israel forces arrested 23 Palestinians from different parts of the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem on June 1. Now, according to the Palestinian Prisoners Society, PPS, among those arrested are 2 former prisoners and 2 minors.
At least 6 Palestinians were arrested from Hebron and 5 from a Jordan Valley village. The reasons for the arrest were not made clear by the Israeli forces. An 18-year-old schoolboy and a 16-year-old minor have been arrested from Beit Tumar town, near Hebron city. Though Israeli forces regularly detain Palestinians, the number of such arrests has increased in the last couple of weeks. Yesterday was the second time in less than a month when mass arrests were made by the Israeli forces. Last month, Palestinians resisted the Israeli forces during one such operation, leading to the death of 2 Palestinians and 1 Israeli soldier. In complete violation of all established human rights norms, including its own laws, Israel has continued the practice of holding Palestinian detainees without any charge or formal trial for months before they are formally charged and tried or released. Some of them are repeatedly arrested without any formal charges. This practice is even more dangerous as the spread of coronavirus threatens the lives of thousands, and those in detention centers are much more at risk. The rise in the number of arrests in the last 2 months is speculated to be related to the proposed annexation of the illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank and in the Jordan Valley. Israel's new government, headed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has announced July 1st as the possible date for the formal annexation, despite appeals and warnings against the move issued by Palestinians, neighboring Arabs, and sections of the international community.
Credit to People's Dispatch for all the international stories. Coming up is happening in the world of sports. Stay with us.